free scores.
They had written a few songs before heading out west. They All Laughed and They Can't Take That Away From Me, knowing that they would fit situations of a typical Astaire Rogers film. Well, getting out to Hollywood, they found that there wasn't much of a script at all. In fact, there were only titles.
There were an amazing amount of titles for Shall We Dance that were not used. They were Watch Your Step, Round the Town, Dance With Me, Twinkle Twinkle, Let's Dance, which of course later did become a movie, Stepping High, Stepping Stones, and Stepping Toes, which for a while was the working title.
So they weren't quite sure what they had on their hands.
In the early months of their collaboration for the film, George and Ira wrote a song called Wake Up Brother and Dance. That was to be the big dance number for Astaire, featured at the end of the movie. When, several months later, in the spring of 1937, the film was changed in title to Shall We Dance, George and Ira wrote one more song, which was the song Shall We Dance?
Shall we dance or keep on moping? Shall we dance and walk on air? Shall we give in to despair? Or shall we dance with never a care?
It has a bit of that Depression era enjoy life, because who knows what's going to happen. But it's all couched in this very up-tempo piece of music, and so people rarely recognize in the lyric that it is a song that really is in some ways a little dark.
Life is short, we're growing older, don't you be? And also ran, you better dance, little lady, dance, little man, dance whenever you can.
Shall We Dance has several different meanings. So to embody it and use it as not only the title of the film, but as the signature piece, it's a very strong song and number.
The Gershwins had an advantage over Berlin and Kern because they had seen the films of Astaire and Rogers already and knew exactly who they were writing for and the situations that would be in the films.
I don't know what to do.
I don't either.
The word is either.
All right.
Take, for example, Let's Call the Whole Thing Off. Ira made note of the fact that Fred used to say either, and Ginger would say either.
You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off.
Let's Call the Whole Thing Off is, I think, one of the most successful comedic pieces that Fred and Ginger do, because they get to be really very funny in it.
You say laughter, and I say laughter. You say after, and I say after. Laughter, laughter, after, after. Let's call the whole thing off.
So I think it's the funniest of their songs, the cleverest of their songs. You can't get better than that. It's so well done.
Supposedly, Hermes Pan and Fred were walking on the RKO lot one day, and they were building something, and they heard a cement mixer going off, and it had a kind of interesting, for them at least, rhythm to it.
They kind of looked at each other and said, that might be good for a number, and as everyone will see, it got incorporated into Slap That Bass.
Again, really, it's putting one's imagination to work here and coming up with ideas from the strangest, most unlikely places.
People that heard George Gershwin play the piano said he had a way of making it laugh. We hear it in the song They All Laughed by the musical notes that cascade down over Ira's tricky lyric.
They All Laughed is a song that came to Ira from the inspiration of seeing an old magazine ad In those days, there was a famous ad that offered piano lessons to anyone who wanted to learn to play the piano but had no talent. And it was a picture of a keyboard and a man standing there smiling, saying, "They laughed when I sat down at the piano."